Welcome back to my channel where I tell you what I would do differently if I was the creator of TV shows and movies. And today we are rewriting School Spirit episode 3. With the episode we'll start off right where we left off with Simon leaving the school and he has that conversation with Mr. Addison and all that or Anderson, sorry. Uh that and then we're going to get the flashes of Mr. Anderson that hint that he could be a killer. And then we have the scene that I'm adding with Madison's mom talking to a officer, and we learn that they're cutting the search party. Uh, and then we have the actual scene from the actual film, or sorry about that. That was my script on my phone, but it fell. But anyways, we'll have the actual scene with Maddie's mom going to talk to Xavier's dad about it, and that will actually be the same as in the actual series. And then Xavier says he's going to school before, of course, leaving. And then we have Simon as he goes to uh, school. He arrives at school and he sees Maddie. He walks over there and he's really starting to suspect Mr. Anderson. They have that conversation from the actual series, and Maddie tried to convince him it's not all that. Tried to convince him that it's not him. Uh, we pretty much that will all play out the same. We'll have a flashback with her and Mr. Anderson where he gives her his number. Uh, and then we learn that his father was an alcoholic, and that will play out the same. And then we see Xavier arrive back at school, and we hear everyone talking about him, and then we see Simon and Nicole talking about Mr. Anderson and that it's weird that he gave his number to her. And then we see Maddie outside of the gym, think about everything, how Xavier could have killed her, how it could actually be Mr. Anderson, and pretty much we're going to see flashes of that. I'm adding where we're going to see flashes about that and everything. And then we're going to see Charlie show up and go talk to her. And they go in for the support group. And then we're going to get that exact scene where we learn about Field Day. And then they talk about American Gladiators. And then pretty much that will all be the same. Charlie, or sorry, wrong part of the script. And we will see uh, Maddie goes and watches Mr. Addison and sort of like watch him, make sure he doesn't do anything suspicious. And then we see Nicole. So, and then Maddie will leave. Nicole will distract uh, Mr. Anderson as Simon looks for the keys. And then he will find them. All that will be the same. He'll go outside, look in his car, and we see Maddie is watching. Uh, he will find a piece of the broken phone. So actually, Maddie in my version will probably just stay there. It's just we won't see her at that point or something. But she'll probably see all that play out, and then the scene will play out the same overall. The scene, Xavier, or not Xavier, Simon shows up and mentions about the broken piece of the phone. We learn why it can't be him. Then we see a flashback of her and him. Maddie yells at Simon before storming out, and then Wally pulls up in a golf cart, and then they have that conversation. Maddie takes the wheel, and she starts driving, crashing into a sign. She said she's not the best driver, just like in the actual series. And then we see them crash into uh, a like container full with water. Then we learn that that is what field day is, because they need to let out aggression. And then we see Maddie go through destroying a few things during field day. Then we see Nicole as she gets a notification about Maddie liking one of her pictures. She then goes to that spot that the picture was taken, try to find her. She then looks around as she recalls on her memories, and then pretty much, that will all play the same. We'll get the flashback that we got in the actual show. The flashback will end as we see Nicole sitting there having a breakdown as she hears footsteps. And I am adding, of course, the breakdown part. Uh, but anyways, she thinks that it could be Maddie, and she looks around, but Xavier walks in. Nicole is confused and a bit scared. They have that conversation. Nicole thinks it could be Xavier, uh, but he said that he has an alibi. We then cut to Simon as he's spying on Mr. Addison before confronting him about not turning in the piece without directly saying it. He said that he doesn't trust the police or anyone that, uh, up top, and he doesn't want anyone to start questioning Simon before leaving. And then we cut back to field day as Charlie uh, will. Charlie and Maddie are, of course, breaking stuff, and then Maddie will tell Charlie about the fight with Simon. Then we'll cut back to Nicole and Xavier as they're talking before. Come back to Maddie as she's talking to Rhonda. She asked about Rhonda's death. We get flashback of Rhonda's death, uh, and we will pretty much hear the exact dialogues from the film. It's just this time we'll actually also have a visual to it. But then we learned that the guardian counselor ended up uh, going to prison, and he actually died in prison. Then we see Maddie and Simon talking, and they figure out that they can't talk anywhere. They can talk anywhere someone has died. Sorry about the mess ups, but and then they have that conversation where Maddie apologizes. We then cut to Xavier, Nicole, and Maddie's mom meeting up as they start heading into the woods for search for Maddie. We then cut back as they look for any evidence, and then we learn that Maddie wasn't even driving. I'm referring when we said. Then we cut back. We cut back to Maddie, but anyways, uh, And then we learned that it was actually Maddie's mom, but Maddie took the fall for it. And then they had that conversation about she thought that it would scare him away, why she didn't tell him. But then they hear footsteps and they try putting the stuff away. Then we cut to Nicole and Xavier as they are looking for Maddie. Then we cut back to Maddie and Simon in the closet, but Simon realizes that she doesn't have to hide in the closet because she can't be seen. So Maddie steps out and tries to eavesdrop, and then we cut back to Nicole saying she found something. Or, sorry. Yeah, no. We cut back to Maddie and Simon as Mr. Anderson said that he shouldn't have gave Maddie that money before storming out. We cut back to Xavier and the rest of them as they see what Nicole has found. So Nicole found something, and for some reason my script just messed up. But anyway, she found something, told them they want to go see what it is. Then we had that previous scene, and they see that it is a ticket that was what? That was the movie that they were going to go see the night Maddie died. We then cut to back to Maddie as Simon asked if she ever asked him for any money. Then we cut back to Xavier and them as they see a boot print and they realize that's Maddie. And then we cut back to Maddie and Simon as they find a hidden compartment in the wall filled with a lot of cash. Sorry again for these mistakes. That's hard because I don't have a editing service right now, so I kind of just had to continue on. But I do plan on getting one and actually fix up my computer soon, so it'll be better. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's where the episode ended off. So I will see you all in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed.